Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have Michael Beer, CFO of FreeWire, a leader in ultra-fast electric vehicle charging and energy management solutions. Michael, it's great to have you with us. Welcome to Trade Talks. Welcome to the market site in Times Square. Let's kick off on a high level here. What is the current state of electronification?
No, great question and great to see you. I would say that we've most certainly hit a tipping point. We had over 1 million EVs sold in the state of California to date. We're tracking at EV penetration something in the mid-teens, and nationwide something in the mid-single digits. So while EV penetration is still relatively low, we have hit that tipping point. And of course, in the last 12 months or so, we've had the launch of the new Ford F-150 Lightning, some watershed events that clearly are a sign of things to come.
Tell us about FreeWire and what makes the company's technology unique.
Sure. So we've produced the world's first commercially available battery-integrated ultra-fast charger. We've embedded a 160 kilowatt-hour battery in our system, and this basically allows for a site host to save tremendous amounts of capital on all of that grid infrastructure that's typically associated with ultra-fast charging. So by having that embedded battery, somebody can deploy charging, and ultra-fast charging at that, in arguably hours or days rather than months or years, which is sort of the normal standard today. We've been rolling this product out for the last 18 months or so, and we're growing our volumes this year by 400 or 500%.
And what's your longer term objective?
So funny enough, we don't even really consider ourselves a charging company. The fact of the matter is, with that integrated battery, we really regard ourselves as an energy management company. We provide energy management services that really can mitigate utility expenses. Of course, we already talked about the reduced infrastructure costs, and of course, we can allow for more rapid deployment of this ultra fast charging capability.
26 million electric vehicles are projected by 2030. Are we at a key inflection point in the transition away from fossil fuels to electrified transportation? And is it feasible that that demand will be met?
Certainly, and I think governments around the world are highly supportive of that. Some are taking different approaches, whether it's the carrot or the stick. But certainly, we have the leadership and the foresight to now start pushing out this product. Most global OEMs are rapidly scaling the number of vehicle models that are electric. And so now it's sort of chicken and egg. Do we have the charging infrastructure able to support all of these new models and vice versa? I do believe that we're in a position now. We've got tremendous amounts of capital that are pouring into this space. Investors are keen to tap into that ESG thematic, and FreeWire really sits at the nexus of all of these major thematics.
And I'm glad you brought up the infrastructure. So Michael, will it take collaboration between the public and private sectors to execute on this?
That's right, and I think the Biden administration has been really a champion here. There are clearly billions of dollars that have been allocated to help accelerate the installation of this infrastructure. But I would also say that the public sector needs to play a role and has played a role, and not only rolling out new vehicle models that are affordable, but also ensuring that we're able to do so in a thoughtful sort of way. I would also highlight that, with the VW settlement funds, we've now created the necessary plumbing at the state level that allows for a lot of those federal funds to flow down at the state level, but it requires companies like ourselves, FreeWire, and other private enterprises to use those funds in a really thoughtful way to make sure that we maximize the value for every dollar spent.
And you've spent nearly 20 years in the transportation, logistics, and infrastructure spaces as an analyst and as running companies. Is it realistic that a total pivot away from fossil fuels can be made? Because you do need fossil fuels to power some of these things to happen.
That's sure. That's right. I started my career as an oil and gas analyst, so if I can pivot, I think anybody can. And you can just see the economics make sense. It's less expensive to operate vehicles. It's less expensive to operate some of these electric, medium, and heavy-duty trucks. And I think people are starting to really embrace that. So you're starting to see really people across the country, not just in California, but across the Midwest, Middle America, that are really starting to roll out the necessary infrastructure in order to kind of tap into this.
And to wrap up here, in April, the company announced a $125 million Series D funding round. What will that allow FreeWire to do?
Sure. We had some tremendous participation from the likes of BlackRock, BP, Riverstone. We're scaling production quite rapidly. We're on track to do over $40 million of revenue this year and $100 million next. We're adding hundreds of jobs in the United States, and we're expanding globally, markets like the UK and so forth. So this really just gives us the capital required for the next 18 months to be heads down and executing on our growth plan.
All right, Michael, we appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks much.